Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah. Walking in cathedrals with high ceilings, I feel faint, knowing that their origins is built on the blood of the saints. They on a crash course straight to Hades. Josephus try to tell them, ain't no paradise for this people, establishing world rebellion. It's a fixed part in the earth reserved for tormental judgment. No rest, no water, no food to scorch us, with legions of demons waiting to afflict us for boredoms of eternity. The only fragrance is the sapphire and mercury. Your workers of iniquity, Jesuits, Masons. What makes it more relevant when you're hella bent? They be spacing your television, programming how they television sacrifice missing children, erected statues, prolific buildings. Check it for lodges, Czechoslovakian, Bohemian Grove style glory. How they operate, no remorse, got us lost in the system. Chief demons of exorcism. Many shall say, Lord, Lord, he shall dismiss us. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. Matthew 7:22. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? In thy name cast out devils? In thy name done many wonderful works? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
No P-O-P-E, gon' say the P-O-P-E-O-P-L-E, from falling in the deepest of the belly. Scarlet colored devils in Revelation, but they can't see. Matthew 23 verse 9, but they can't read. Y'all been tricked by the magic and the alchemy. Who y'all call father, rock or knock him off the balcony. Ain't nothing but some wolves among sheep, and they ought to eat. But once a liar meet a lion, who becomes the beast? My people on the road to redemption. Once the Father send the Spirit to come speak, we all listen. Just trying to keep the faith in these hell-like conditions. Not submissive, you be in a submission, but we all got a mission. So close to land of milk and honey, we can taste that. Where we build under the Father, you can't break that. Readers trying to bring Jake back, but the whole world hates that.
People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil, not knowing its origin, prince of darkness and its people. People often perceive evil.
It's the music of Castanerio, taken from the CD. And Shalom Israel, and to everyone else, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to you and yours, wherever you are on this world's wide web. You are listening to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, where we have our yellow tape to investigate why they took out the book of Jubilees out of the Most High's Word. If you'd like to join in on our show conversation, if you have a comment or question, feel free to give us a shout out right here at 347-205-9279. As well as join us right here in the chat room at blogtalkradio.com men empowered. And just a reminder, I haven't did this in a while, to let you know you can always contact us at our office here at area code 504-484-9388, as well as our email address is menempoweredtoprosper@yahoo.com. Follow along with us right here on Twitter. That's menempowered@twitter.com. So much for the World Wide Web. Let's have roll call with Castanerio again, and we'll be right back to begin with Chapter 6, the Book of Jubilees.
Shema Yasha Allah Ahaya Allah Haya Nawa Ahaya Akha.
La música de Harry Fry.
We all lost tribes, scattered lost sheep, taught false history, worship the image of the beast. Celebrities got bread, but they souls ain't free. Got bodyguards, but the truth will set you free. Money only divides, poverty is unity. We on welfare lines and our stories is kinda deep. Catch me from the HRA, refugee OC. They lied to us for decades, the truth will set you free. No RFRDs, I am not a number, I am not a barcode. I don't sleep in the slumber. Famines in the summer, our youth is getting slimmer. Prayer flight is not in the Sabbath nor the winter. The Nina and the Pinta when the terrorists came through. Slave troops to Gad, America said too, this was Azareth. Chosen ones was here, ask Edgerith. The Queen believed Columbus cause he read it in the Real roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. This the Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. This the Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. This the Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. I know that poverty works and tribulation. I know that poverty works and tribulation. Hey yo, back to the scripts. Hosea 4 and 6, same ones on the strip rolling 456. If they knew who they was, rather who they is, they would stop shedding blood. And stick to the scripts. Tribe Nephtali, Filipinos in Hawaii, the Samoans, Pacific Islanders, Crown of my Boricuas, stay from the tribe of Ephraim. Dominicans, Chaloke, tribe of Simeon. West Indians from Benjamin. Aborigines, Somali Indians, their nativity tribe is Reuben. South Americans, Asher. Mexicans, Issachar. Cuban, Manasseh. Cigar capital. Central American tribe is Zebulon. Guatemala to Panama. Most High got a plan for ya. Haitians is Levi, the chief priest. Kingdom come, y'all gon' be so fresh and so clean. No Andre 3G, but Andre 3G, tribe Judah. Your Negroes like Christ the King. No Andre 3G, but Andre 3G, tribe Judah. Your Negroes like Christ the King. Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. This the Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes. This the Israel roll call, flow to Shafar. Calling all tribes. Calling all tribes, this the Israel roll call, blow the shofar. Calling all tribes, calling all tribes.
Welcome back to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, as we get underway in the Most High's Word. Oh, I love His Word. I love His Word. Not only do I love His Word, but I know I got to do His Word. Israel, we got to wake up. We've got to do His Word. We got to do it. We got to do the do. Gentiles, let's highly esteem the children of Israel as well as do the word. Let's do the word. Let's get to it. I'm excited. We had a fantastic Sabbath. We also had special guests right here on Saturday Night Gospel Jam. Rap by Ben Israel was here in the house. And if you haven't heard his testimony, check it out. It's right on our website on Saturday Night Gospel Jam. Appreciate him being with us, sharing with you absolute knowledge and truth in the music that he plays. Chapter 6, the book of Jubilees, verse 1. And on the new moon of the third month, he went forth, we are in verse 2, and he made atonement for the earth, and took a kid and made atonement by his blood for all the guilt of the earth. For everything that had been on it had been destroyed, save those that were in the ark with Noah. And he placed the fat thereof on the altar. And he took an ox, and a goat, and a sheep, and kids, and salt, and a turtle dove, and the young of the dove, and placed a burnt sacrifice on the altar, and poured thereon an offering mingled with oil, and sprinkled wine, and strewed frankincense over everything, and caused a goodly savor to arise, acceptable, and the Most High smelt the goodly savor, and he made a covenant with him that there should not be any more a flood to destroy the earth, that all the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, should never cease, cold and heat, and summer and winter, and day and night should not change their order, nor cease forever. And you increase ye and multiply upon the earth, and become many upon it, and be a blessing upon it. The fear of you and the dread of you I will inspire in everything that is on earth and in the sea. And behold, I have given unto you all beasts and all winged things, and everything that moves on the earth, and the fish in the waters, and all things for food, as the green herb. I have given you all things to eat, but flesh with the life thereof, with the blood ye shall not eat, for the life of all flesh is in the blood, lest your blood of your lives be required. At the hand of every man, at the hand of every beast will I require the blood of men. Whosoever sheddeth man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of the Most High made he man. And you increase ye and multiply on the earth. And Noah and his sons swore that they would not eat any blood, any flesh. And he made a covenant before the Lord God forever throughout all the generations of the earth in this month. On this account he spoke to thee that thou shouldst make a covenant with the children of Israel in this month upon the mountain with an oath, and that thou shouldst sprinkle blood upon them because of all the words of the covenant, which the Lord made with them forever. And this testimony is written concerning that you should observe it continually, so that you should not eat on any day any blood of beasts or birds or cattle during all the days of the earth. And the man who eats the blood of beasts or of cattle or of birds during all the days of the earth, he and his seed shall be rooted out of the land. And do thou command the children of Israel to eat no blood, so that their names and their seed may be before the Lord our God continually. And for this law there is no limit of days, for it is forever. They shall observe it throughout their generations, so that they may continually supplications on your behalf with blood before the altar. every day, and at the time of morning and evening they shall seek forgiveness on your behalf. Perpetuity before the Lord, that they may keep. Verse 15, it and not be rooted out. And he gave to Noah and his sons a sign that there should not again be a flood on the earth. He set his bow in the cloud for a sign of the eternal covenant that there should not again be a flood on the earth to destroy it all the days of the earth. For this reason it is ordained and written on the heavenly tablets that they should celebrate the feast of weeks in this once a year, to renew the covenant every year. And this whole festival was celebrated in heaven from the day of creation to the day of Noah, 26 Jubilees and 5 weeks of years. And Noah and his son observed it for 7 Jubilees and 1 week of year till the day of Noah's death. And from the day of Noah's death, his sons did away with it until the days of Abraham. And they ate blood. But Abraham observed it, and Isaac and Jacob and his children observed it up until thy days, that in thy days the children of Israel forgot it until ye celebrate it anew on this mountain. And do thou command the children of Israel to observe this festival in all their generations for a commandment unto them. 1 day in the year, in this month, they shall celebrate the Feast of Weeks and the Feast of First Fruits. This feast is twofold and a double nature, according to what is written and engraved concerning it. Celebrate it, for I have written in the book of the first law, in that which I have written for thee, that thou shouldst celebrate it in its season. 1 day in the year, and I explain to thee its sacrifice, that the children of Israel should remember and should celebrate it throughout their generations in this month. 1 day in every year. Verse 23, and on the new moon of the first month, and on the new moon of the fourth month, and on the new moon of the seventh month, and on the new moon of the 10th month are the days of remembrance, and the days of the seasons in the 4 divisions of the year. These are written and ordained as a testimony forever. And Noah ordained them for himself as feasts for the generations forever. Verse 25, a memorial unto him. And on the new moon of the first month, he was bidden to make for himself an ark. And on that day the earth became dry, and he opened, verse 26, the ark and saw the earth. And on the new moon of the fourth month, the months of the depths of the abyss beneath were closed. And on the new moon of the seventh month, all the mouths of the abyss of the earth were opened, and the waters began to descend into them. And on the new moon of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains were seen, and Noah was glad. And on this account he ordained them for himself as feasts, for a memorial forever. They are ordained. Verse 29, and they placed them on the heavenly tablets. Each had 13 weeks, from one to another past their memorial, from the first to the second, and from the second to the third, and from the third to the fourth. And all the days of the commandment will be 52 weeks of days, and these will make the entire year complete. Thus it is engraved and ordained of the heavenly tablets, and there is no neglecting this commandment, for a single year or from year to year, and command thou the children of Israel that they observe the years accordingly to the reckoning 364 days, and these will constitute a complete year, and they will not disturb its times from its days and from its feasts, for everything will fall out in them according to their testimony. And they will not leave out any day nor disturb any feast. But if they do neglect and do not observe them accordingly to his commandments, then they will all their seasons and the year will be dislodged from this order, and they will disturb the seasons and the years will they dislodge, and they will neglect their ordinances, and all the children of Israel will forget and will not find the path of the years, and will forget the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths, and they will go wrong as to all the orders of the years. For I know, and from henceforth will I declare it unto thee, and it is not of my own devising, for the book lies written before me, and on the heavenly tablets the division of days is ordained, lest they forget the feast of the covenant, and walk accordingly to the feast, their area. Excuse me, let me just back up here real quick. Lest they forget the feast of the covenant and walk accordingly to the feast of the Gentiles after their era, and after their ignorance. For there will be those who will assuredly make observations of the moon, how it disturbs the seasons, and come in from year to year 10 days too soon. For this reason the years will come upon them when they will disturb the order, and make an abominable day the day of testimony, and an unclean day of feast day, and they will confound all the days, the holy with the unclean, and the unclean day with the holy, for they will go wrong as the months and Sabbaths. I emphasize Sabbaths and feasts and Jubilees. For this reason I command and testify to thee, that thou mayest testify to them, for after them, so that they will not make the year 364 days only. For this reason they will go wrong as to the new moons and seasons and Sabbaths and festivals, and they will eat all kinds of blood with all kinds of flesh. And as you know, here in this country, as well as a lot of Western countries, you know the type of meats that we're supposed to eat, cook well, not with blood. I said not with blood. You're not supposed to eat meat rare, not with the showing of blood. The Sabbaths done change. We're eating all kinds of unclean meats now. And by the way, that is the end of chapter 7. Let me check with my producer. Do we have a break coming up? I think we probably do have a break coming up soon. But we're going to be getting into chapter 7. So, you know, as you can see this right here, the Most High is giving Moses all these commandments and what happened with Noah, as well as the 3 families that was in that. Let's take a break real quick, and we'll be right back, and we'll begin with chapter 7. You're listening to CSI Crime Scene Investigation, the Book of Jubilees.
Yes, yes.
Can I share my testimony real quick? See, in like 2000 I cried, man, at Markham Chapel. Broke out in tears, man. I didn't really understand why, but I knew why, because I didn't understand the word, man, and I wanted to so bad in my heart. So here I stand years later, knowing a little bit of Hebrew, speaking it, and having a better understanding of the word, man. So with that said, thank you, Father.
Listen to my story. Ooh.
Yes, yes.
How he came to earth from glory.
Okay. Check it. Look, we see ourselves not as the saints the scriptures describe, but as filthy sinners saved by grace of slaves' mind. Why? What happened to the chosen shine the light? I see with my ears nowadays and hear by sight. I gotta fight like the Maccabees and take the temple and put the laws in their heart. Yeah, it's that simple. I know you think you're unworthy, saying that he loves me, but you was unworthy, but then he saved we. The crown of death through the line of David left restored the pure language which they say is ancient. I left Bay, Yimo Dalahe. Who is he? He is she. Look, I'm giving praise for one day at Markham Chapel in church. I cried. Stephanie was next to me, couldn't believe her eyes. Cause my persona tough guy must remain strong. But pressure bust the pipe for me to feel my father's arms. This is for the unrighteous man, understand. Whitehead, Key West, Florida, crackheads, man. Between the church trying to get a fit, picture this, and crooked cops in Compton trying to give me it. American gangsters who affected families. The drunk driver who killed my homie's son, you see. Best believe no Pharisee laws inside of me. As I walk in faith, let's give them glory. Cause now I read ingredients, Noel intestines. Pig pancreas, chapter 11, Leviticus. Whoa, man, get off that pork, that lobster, that shrimp, crab. Look, you know what I mean? Look, understand my level. Numbers 15, 38 to 39, which is seldom seen. Jeremiah 31, verse 33. Hebrews chapter 10, verse 16. God's word ain't never lied once you read. The NT, the OT, it never died, you see. For Jesus Christ, would you make the same sacrifice? I know too many that his name is so sacred, right? But what about the Inquisition, those thrown in prison? Boiled alive for the faith of the Pope's vision. Which you're living, so Yeshua ben Yosef, I say, I ain't a Christ killer just because I speak his name. I'd rather upgrade than degrade, remain clean. Galatians 6:16, shalom and mercy. I love y'all, man. And I still gotta get baptized while I'm talking about it, you know what I mean? Went to the church today, man. That's the word I needed, man. As much as I'm studying, you know, I got my tzitzit, my fringes, all that. You know, I still gotta lay down the foundation, man. So go ahead and get baptized, man. So you know what needs to happen next, man. Yeah, man. Check it out, man. I didn't make this for me, man. This album is for free. I would like for you to pass it on. You know what I mean? I don't care, bootleg it, do whatever you want to do. Get it out, burn it, I don't care. Send it an email, whatever. I'm not making no profit off of it. I didn't do it for that reason, man. You understand? I want to see people get better, man. Cause I'm sorry, man, when I look in hip-hop, man, and I see what I see, man, I'm sorry, man, I can't partake in that, man. I know better, man. You know what I'm saying? But hip-hop has always been something that, you know, has been in me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave y'all with this though. You know, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's Psalms 37 verse 4. So you know, this is my heart right here, man. But I had to get right with God first. He gave it right back to me, man. Such a beautiful way. So, you know, good morning to those who's listening in the morning, you know. Boketo, you know. Peace to those, you know, shalom. You know. So, for those who understand, you know, Tov Miyos, very good, you know what I mean? Tov Miyos. Hopefully I said that correctly. You know what I mean? I don't want my, you know, my teacher, my rabbi to be mad at me, but, you know. It is what it is. The High album. High. Not high as in weed either, man. I'm talking about high as in Hebrew Israelite.
Okay. The book say prove all things. I got that faith that can move all things. So free, I won't travel that road again like a bird. Who gon' never touch the ground again like the king of the jungle? Who can wear his crown again? If you really wanna know what makes you free, John 8:32, that's the truth. We work hard just to make it, and not a soul gon' take it. His chosen people, slaving just to make some change. Not talking under the table, but we underpaid. Found the most high, told my mom there's not a fade. They say the best things in life are free, but I pay for it every time I breathe. They spray our skies and they knock down trees. We just want the L-I-V to the E. Now we know we Israelites, we just hope to shine. Now they trying to close all our open minds. This an uphill battle, you need the rope to climb. Wisdom all in our mouth, not the dinner one. They trade physical slaves for some mental ones. If you think you free to stop paying rent, then this mental institution you can't put a dent in. We thank the Father for his son that he sent in.
Welcome back to CSI, Crime Scene Investigation, where we look and investigate why they tried to delete the Most High's word. All praises to the Most High for his word that was kept in the earth. One day, we'll probably get into the Dead Sea Scrolls as well. Let's go now to chapter 7 of the book of Jubilees, verse 1. And in the 7th week, in the first year thereof, in this Jubilees, Noah planted vines on the mountain on which the ark had rested, named Lubar, one of the Ararat mountains. Let me spell that for you so you can do some research. That's A-R-A-R-A-T, Ararat mountains. And they produce fruits in the 4th year. And he guarded in this year in the 7th month. And he made wine therefrom and put it in a vessel and kept it until the 5th year, until the 1st day on the new moon of the 1st month. And he celebrated with joy the day of this feast. And he made a burnt sacrifice unto the Most High, 1 young ox and 1 ram and 7 sheep, each a year old, and a kid of the goats. And he might make atonement thereby for himself and his sons. And he prepared the kid first, and placed some of his blood that was on the altar, which he had made. And all the fat he laid on the altar where he made the burnt sacrifice, and the oxen and the ram and the sheep. And he laid all their flesh upon the altar, and he placed all their offerings mingled with oil upon it. And afterwards he sprinkled wine and on the fire which he had previously made on the altar. And he placed incense on the altar and caused a sweet savor to ascend acceptable before the Most High his God. And he rejoiced and drank of this wine, he and his children with joy. And it was evening, and he went into his tent, and being drunken, he laid down and slept, and was uncovered in his tent as he slept. And Ham saw Noah his father's naked, and went forth and told his two brethren without. And Shem took his garment and arose, and he and Japheth, and they placed the garment on their shoulders, and went backwards and covered the shame of their father. And their face were backward. And Noah awoke from his sleep, and knew all that his young son, and that his younger son had done unto him. And he cursed his son and said, Cursed be Canaan, and enslaved servant shall he be unto his brethren, Shem, and said, Blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and God shall dwell in the dwelling of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. And Ham knew that his father had cursed his younger son, and he was displeased that he had cursed his son. And he parted from his father, he and his sons with him, Cush and Mizraim and Phut and Canaan. And he built for himself a city named after the name of his wife, Nechatamah. That's Neelatamak. And Japheth saw it and became envious of his brother. And he too built for himself a city. And he called its name after the name of his wife, Adatenes. That's Adatenes. And Shem dwelt with his father Noah. And he built a city close to his father on the mountain. And he too called its name after the name of his wife. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. That's Sedequetelebab. Verse 17. And behold, these three cities are near Mount Lubar. Shem's wife fronting the mountain on its east, and Nechatamah on the south, Adatenes toward the west. And these are the sons of Shem, Elam, Asher, and Ephraim. This son was born 2 years after the flood. And Lud and Aran, the sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai and Japhon, Tubal and Meshach and Tyrus. These are the sons of Noah. And in the 28th Jubilee, Noah began to enjoy upon his sons' the ordinances and commandments, and all the judgments that he knew. And he extolled his sons to observe righteousness, and to cover the shame of their flesh, and to bless their Creator, and honor father and mother, and love their neighbors, and guard their souls. Verse 21, from fornication and uncleanness and all iniquity. For owing to these three things came the flood upon the earth, namely owing to the fornication, wherein the watchers against the law of their ordinances went a-whoring after the daughters of men, and took themselves wives of all which they chose. They made the beginning of uncleanness, and they begot sons, the Nephilim. That's Naphihim. And they were all alike, and they devoured one another. And the giant slew the Nephilim, and the Nephilim slew the Elo, and Elo mankind, and one man another. And every one sold himself to work iniquity and to shed much blood. And the earth was filled with iniquity. And after this they sinned against the beasts and birds, and all that moves and walked on the earth. And much blood was shed on the earth. And every imagination and desire of men imagined vanity and evil continually. And the Most High destroyed everything from off the face of the earth, because of the wickedness they had shed in the midst of the earth. He destroyed everything, and we were left, I and you, my son, and everything that entered with us into the ark. And behold, I see your works before me, that ye do not walk in righteousness. For in the path of destruction ye have begun to walk, and ye are parting one from another, and are envious one of another. And so it comes that ye are not in harmony, my sons, each with his brother. Now these are the children of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And you all know about Canaan. Canaan began to disobey the Most High's laws and begin to go after uncleanness ways, and therefore go away from what Noah was beginning to teach. Verse 27. For I see and behold, the demons have begun seduction against you and against your children. And now I fear on your behalf that after my death ye will shed the blood of men upon the earth, and that ye too will be destroyed from the face of the earth. For whoso sheddeth man's blood, and whoso eateth the blood of any flesh, shall all be destroyed from the earth. And there shall not be left any man that eateth blood, or that sheddeth the blood of man on the earth. Nor shall there be left to him any seed or descendants living under heaven. For into Sheol shall they go, and into the place of condemnation shall they descend, and into the darkness of the deep shall they all be removed by a violent death. There shall be no blood seen upon you. Of all the blood there shall be all the days in which ye have killed any beast or cattle or whatever flies upon the earth. And work ye a good work to your souls by covering that which has been shed on the face of the earth. And ye shall not be like him who eats with blood, but guard yourself that none may eat blood before you. Cover the blood, for thus have I been commanded to testify to you and your children together with all flesh, and suffer not the souls to be eaten with the flesh, that your blood, which is your life, may not be required at the hand of any flesh that sheds on the earth. For the earth will not be clean from the blood which has been shed upon it, For only through the blood of him that shed it will the earth be purified throughout all its generations. And now, my children, judgment and righteousness, that ye may be planted in righteousness over the face of the whole earth, and your glory lifted up before my God, who saved me from the waters of the flood. And behold, ye will go and build for yourselves cities, and plant in them all the plants that are upon the earth, and moreover all fruit-bearing trees. For 3 years the fruit of everything that is eaten will not be gathered, and in the 4th year its fruit will be accounted, and they will offer the first fruit acceptable before the Most High God, who created heaven and earth and all things. Let them offer in abundance the first of the wine and oil, the first fruits of the altar of the Lord, who receives it. What is left, let the servants of the house of the Lord eat before the altar which receives it. And in the 5th year make ye the release, so that ye release it in righteousness and uprightness, and ye shall be righteous. And all that you plant shall prosper. For thus did Enoch, the father of your father, command Methuselah his son, and Methuselah his son Lamech. Lamech commanded me all the things which his father commanded him. And I also will give you commandments, my son, as Enoch commanded his son in the first Jubilee, while still living, the 7th in his generation. He commanded and testified to his son and to his son's son until the day of his death. Well, this concludes the end of chapter 8. We'll be right, and we are going to take notes on what is on tomorrow, and we'll come right back and we'll wrap up the final thoughts right here.
Read it. Verse 12. Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea.
And they shall wander from sea to sea. That means you're going from this place to this place. Well, let me go over here. Oh, Islam, I don't know. I don't like that. Well, let me go over to the Christian church. Oh, I don't know. Well, maybe let me go into Hinduism. Well, I don't know. I don't like this church because this preacher says this. I don't like this church because this preacher says that. Let me tell you, if you were in the Word, it wouldn't matter what the preacher would say. If you was in the Word, you'll be able to see over what he's teaching. But you're going from sea to sea, all over the place. Read.
Amos chapter 8, verse 12. And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east.
Go ahead.
They shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Most High, and shall not find it.
You're going to wish one day you was able to sit in your cushy house and cut on your computer and see the word of the Most High. You're going to long for that time. You're going to wish you had that opportunity. Soon reading the Bible is going to be against the law of the earth. Soon. Soon. They're moving everyone into a new age movement. And the only thing you can believe in is yourself. Is yourself. And you are being programmed. That's going to be the belief system. Yourself. That's the new age movement. How grim and dark the government of this earth is. That all of them are in league and are in bed with Satan. That's the truth. Not one of them are with the Most High. Why? Because this kingdom was given into the hand of Satan. Job 9 and 24 tells you the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. So in order for you to rule in this government, you must go to Satan to get your power. He tried to offer it to Christ. Christ denied it. But who took it? All the governments in this earth who will soon pay. They live lavishly in this earth off of the bones, blood, sweat, and tears of the children of Israel. Yes. But
It's the music and words of the Gathering of Christ Church right here on CSI. Elder Lawyer as well as Elder Ricochet elaborating while Elder Lawyer reads the scriptures in Amos. When we come back on CSI on Monday, let's get some understanding on eating of blood. Let's get some understanding on that from chapter 6 and chapter 7 before we go into chapter 8. And let's get some clarity and some understanding on that, okay? So if you all would, just kind of remind me on that. And when we come back on, when we come back on Monday on CSI again, we're going to have some understanding on that. How many of you all know that in Ham's lineage, if I believe I'm correct on this, that on Ham's lineage, that you've had the Egyptians, they are Hamites. They embraced a lot of fallen angel technology. They start following a lot of the fallen angels, a lot of the idols there on that. How many of you all know that Sodom and Gomorrah is in that particular line as well? Now you all know that here in America, the Negroes of slave descent are from the lineage of Shem. And we're going to discuss that a little bit more, elaborate a little bit more on that when we come back on Monday. Now on tomorrow, you know that we are in the Apocrypha now, and we are in 2nd Esdras. So join us tomorrow as we get into the Apocrypha books. We're going to go through all the books of the Apocrypha books, Tuesday through Thursday. And like to let you know also, Brother Abidal as well as JEWEDuP, they have rescheduled the constellations. So we're going to let you know at a later date that we're going to reschedule that and bring that up again. And also, don't forget, on Saturday is our regular schedule 90 minutes of the best in truth Hebrew music right here on Saturday Night Gospel Jam at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just want to remind you, coming up, we've got a special guest music artist coming up for the month of June, so be looking out for that. I will probably give you more information on that on tomorrow. So set your calendar and mark your calendar that we've got another artist coming on board. We've had a fantastic Saturday with Rap by Ben Israel, our third artist, Hebrew artist, right here on our show, Saturday Night Gospel Jam. Still want you to know that we have Castanerio as well as John Boyd's interview is still at our website. So those are in our archives. You can check them out. And don't forget that all of our shows are visually enhanced on YouTube by subscribing to Hebrews, Truth, and Consequence, as well as JEWEDuP. You definitely want to check that out. Share the word to other people that listen to this broadcast. You can share it from the Blog Talk Radio Network, or you can share it with YouTube right there at youtube.com. So until tomorrow night, this is Brother Malachi letting you know that seek knowledge, seek absolute knowledge, and don't you be destroyed for lack of knowledge. Shalom.
We desire to go to Jerusalem because in the scriptures 3 times in the year you are supposed to be able to go on a pilgrimage to Jerusalem to pay your respects to God. Why do they not want us to go to Jerusalem to take off? Our fathers in former times went in multitude unto Jerusalem. Who is it that desires that we not go to Jerusalem to pay
high. First Prong 24 verse 10 high. Now I know the birth of the Messiah. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1 though. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Let him go. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Leviticus 11, still people eating swine. Isaiah 65, verse 4, no swine. Isaiah 66, verse 3, no swine. Okay. Oh, you gonna need the New Testament, right? Matthew 5, 17 through 19, listen. 2 John, verse 6, is love, I listen. Romans 2:13, now what? Who said? I said that. Exodus so we can exodus. Stage on boys, Jared Chisholm, dripping spiritual. Oppressing my people, wandering 40 years. Yahuwah is my savior and king, now listen. Yahusha means the father is salvation. John 3:18, you see why believe. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Can't walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. Straight up. Mentally enslaving all my people like Pharaoh. What? Stealing from Yahuwah, oppressing my people Pharaoh. Walk up in the church, tell the pastor like Pharaoh. You gotta have faith, but according to the Romans 9, 1 through 5, why you lie? My flesh is of Yasharel, you better tell. Hey, that, man. Psalms 83, crafty counsel, I see. Got us working on Shabbat, on Sunday preaching. Psalms 91, in him I trust Yahuwah. Yeah. Okay, Deuteronomy 28, it all relate. Atlantic slave trade back in Egypt now. 2 Kings 17, 5 through 19. Say the read though. Romans 11, don't boast up, listen. As we return, this fire burns in me. Yeah, Baruch Atah Yahuwah Avinu, translate that. Hebrew, I mean.
But if the trumpet does blow, we are concerned and we are troubled. But let all the inhabitants of the world know we're not afraid. Stay in your places. Do not leave the village of peace.
Malachi.